It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Monday, November the 2nd. I'm Michael Groff. The heat has returned, and we'll see near record temperatures throughout the upcoming week. But by this weekend, a fairly sharp pattern change comes on in here. Much cooler temperatures and maybe the threat of some precipitation, although more than likely that stays to the north. All right, let's talk about it first. Yesterday in the valley, 96 degrees, the afternoon high. Put that in yellow because that is not only a tie for the record high for the date, that also ties the all-time record warmest temperature in the month of November. The morning low was 64. There you see the normals at 82 and 58. And speaking of heat and climate stats, we just wrapped up the month of October. And if it felt hot this month, that's because it was. Overall, October 2020 was the fourth warmest on record here in Phoenix, with an average temperature of 80.9. No rain in the bucket, so that tied with several other Octobers for the driest. Outside now, here just after 7 o'clock, mostly cloudy skies out there, quite a few mid and high-level clouds at this time. And we're sitting at 73 degrees, a very warm start to the day. Dew points at 38, relative humidity 28%. The winds are light, and the barometer is rising. As we look at temperatures around the area this morning, some of these numbers are reminiscent of what we would see in September as opposed to November. We've got low 60s in the cooler pockets, but many spots are in the 70s to near 80 degrees. Sky Harbor Airport has only been down to 71 so far, and assuming that holds, that'll set a new record warm low temperature for the date. The upper air look shows high pressure as the dominant weather feature here out across the southwest, and that's keeping us plenty warm. But there is a weak wave to the west, and that's helped to bring in some of the high clouds that we've had over the last few days. And as that system begins to move eastward across the region today and tonight, we'll start to go negative tilt. Some dynamics with this, just not a lot of moisture, and any moisture that there is will probably be confined further to the north and west of us. And we'll take a look at this in more detail in just a moment. Here's the watch warning map, and as we continue to roast out here in the southwest, it's fall elsewhere. Look at those freeze warnings extending from eastern Oklahoma into parts of the mid and deep south, all the way down to northern Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. Temperatures down in the 40s and 30s there this morning. All right, the convective outlook for today, no severe weather expected across the country. Maybe a clap of thunder, though, for parts of southern Nevada, northwest Arizona, some of the adjacent areas with that aforementioned low that scoots on through here. Now, as we take a look at the tropical picture here, remember on Friday we were talking about a weak wave out there over the Caribbean with a chance of development, and it's done just that over the weekend. This has blown up and become Hurricane Eta, now taking aim at the coast of Nicaragua, and obviously a major threat to life and property there with storm surge and damaging wind. But once this gets overland, it moves very, very slowly. So then the concern becomes devastating flooding, probably looking at 20 to 30 inches of rain over Nicaragua and Honduras, some of the surrounding areas as well. And then you note on the official track from the National Hurricane Center a definite turn toward the north there later in the week. And what happens after that? Well, that becomes the million-dollar question. Many of the models do bring this back out over the water, and this could begin to re-strengthen if this storm survives, and could be a threat to the United States, as if we need to talk about that. But that would definitely be the 2020 thing for a system like this to do. So we'll keep an eye on it. As we bring it back closer to home, here's the precipitation outlook valid through next Monday morning from the WPC. They have a few hundredths of an inch, maybe a tenth of an inch of rain for us here in the valley. Heavier totals obviously off to the north and east of us over the higher terrain. We'll get into that and everything else going on too as we dive into modeling. Here we go, the GFS, the 06Z run valid at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Features of note here, big ridge out here over the west, heights well above average, and a weak wave, a little upper low to the west, and that's starting to go negative tilt as it enters the region. So down at the surface today, plenty of high clouds around, we'll call it partly sunny. Highs this afternoon still managing to get into the low 90s. That's obviously above average by a solid 10 degrees or so. And as this feature begins to move our way, the question is, will we see anything out of it? Certainly have some decent dynamics, some diffluent flow aloft, a little bit of lift with this. But as we take a look at some of the CAMs, our convective allowing models, this is the 3-kilometer NAM at 3 o'clock this afternoon, the simulated radar product. And really not a whole lot here in south central Arizona. There could be some virga, maybe a very light sprinkle someplace. But the rain with this, and there won't be much, but any precipitation should be confined to extreme northwest Arizona, southeast California and into southern Nevada, maybe around Las Vegas. You could see a shower, maybe a clap of thunder there, and that's going to be about it. And the reason is there's just not a lot of moisture. Precipitable water values with this, yeah, they're kind of high for November. This is up in the 90th percentile for this time of year, but that's still not very much. We're talking about values up around 0.8 of an inch here over south central Arizona. Just not a lot of moisture, but yes, could be enough conceivably for a sprinkle or a light shower. We're going to keep it out of the forecast though. All right, tonight, again, maybe a light shower or a sprinkle someplace. Probably not though. Otherwise, partly cloudy skies, overnight lows in the 60s. And then tomorrow, that system moves on by. We turn mostly sunny. High temperatures upper 80s and low 90s. Around 90 or so on Wednesday. Thursday, this could be the warmest day. The heights are way up there, around 590 decameters, so we could see a high temperature in the low or maybe even middle 90s. Looking to challenge a couple of record highs this week. Certainly, the record high on Thursday is 93 degrees. We're going with a range of 92 to 95, so it is very possible we could break that. Friday, here comes a change in the weather pattern though. Troughing, diving down the west coast into the Great Basin, and the winds turn out of the southwest. We start to turn breezy by the afternoon. Still should be a pretty warm day with a small increase in high clouds. High temperatures upper 80s to about 90. But here we go to the weekend. This is Saturday. We've got the trough now digging in across the west. The main dynamic support and moisture supply with this should stay just to the north of us. Maybe some widely scattered rain and snow showers over northern Arizona. Conceivably an isolated shower or two possible here in southern Arizona, but I really so far going to keep the forecast dry. It just does not look like we're going to see much out of this other than breezy conditions, some clouds, and definitely cooler temperatures. Highs on Saturday, mid and upper 70s. And then on Sunday, we're likely only going to be in the upper 60s to near 70 as another wave comes around the base of this trough. And again, there could be an isolated shower someplace, maybe even here in the valley. The better chance of rain remains to the north and east of us, and certainly some mountain snow will be possible as well. Here we go to next week. This is Monday the 9th. The trough moving on out, cool, dry air behind it. High temperatures likely low to mid 70s. And as we look out 10 days, this is Wednesday the 11th. Troughing to the north, a zonal flow here that looks dry and seasonal temperature-wise. But look what you see down there in the Yucatan Channel. Yes, that's Eta. The GFS picks this up, moving back northeastward off of the Yucatan and out into the Yucatan Channel. Where it goes from there is still anybody's guess, if it will be there at all. But looking at the European at the same time, it has the system almost in the identical spot, just a little bit to the east of there. So remarkable consistency from the global models on a system 10 days out. Don't see that too often, so we'll keep an eye on this. All right, as we check out rainfall around here coming off of the European ensemble, and there are quite a few members over the weekend that show some very light QPF in here, but not really showing a whole lot of rain, and the ensemble mean for the next couple of weeks is only about 0.2 of an inch. But we'll see if we can start to trend the pattern a little bit cooler and wetter as we get into mid-November. And taking a look at temperatures off the national blend of models, just as I mentioned that, the air conditioner comes on as I put up this graphic. 93 today, tomorrow 95 on Thursday, overnight lows still in the 60s. This looks like early October weather, but then we turn sharply cooler by the weekend and continuing beyond that with highs below average, and that would be awesome. And that's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video back here tomorrow morning. If you enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe, like, share, and click that notification bell so that whenever a brand new video is posted, you'll get the notice. Your comments, questions, and suggestions always encouraged as well. Thanks so much for watching. It is always appreciated. You guys be safe. Yeah, stay cool and hydrated out there, and have yourselves a fantastic Monday.